Hi everyone, I am Jacy from Craft Life and I am here today to teach you how to make Rainbow Loom donuts on your Rainbow Loom. If you would like to make them on your monster tail, I have a video for it and I'll put a link in the description box below if you would like to go check it out. I've had some requests on how to make this on your Rainbow Loom, so the supplies you'll need to make this are a Rainbow Loom, rubber bands. Today I'm using a light brown and white. You will also need a Rainbow Loom hook or a crochet hook. And if you would like to make a sprinkled donut, you'll need some seed beads and dental floss. And if you would like to make them an earring like this one, you will need an earring. A pair of earrings, and you can find them at your local craft store. So please get your supplies and we'll begin. To begin, we are going to leave our Rainbow Loom in the staggered formation, and we are going to be using these 8 pegs right here. So you're going to take your donut color. We're going to start on these 2 pegs, and in a counterclockwise rotation, we are just going to make X's like that. And you're going to push them down as you go. So make another X, push it down, and we are just laying them normally. Now we're going to go down this side and push them down. Now we are going to lay another row. And we're just going to lay it normally and do not push it down. We are not Xing this time either, just lay it normally. Now we have a bottom row and a top row, and we're going to bring our bottom 2 loops over the top on our 8 pegs. So just grab them and bring them over. Then do this side. And push these down. Now we are going to lay our second row. Now we have a bottom row and a top row, and we're going to bring our bottom 2 loops over the top on our 8 pegs. Now push everything down. And lastly, we are going to lay our third row. Now you're going to bring your bottom loops over the top, and each peg will have 2 rubber bands to bring over. Push it down. Now we've just done 3 rows and we are ready to lay our icing. And for your icing, you can make it sprinkled with beads. So if you have any seed beads and you would like to make them your sprinkles, I'm going to show you how to make that. So you're going to take dental floss and a rubber band and a bead. But remember, you can leave yours normally with no beads or no sprinkles, and you can just leave it with frosting. But I'm just going to show you how to put on your beads. You're going to stick the dental floss through your rubber band and put the 2 ends together at the top of the dental floss. And you're just going to twist them. Then put your bead on. And then pull this down And you do not want to leave it in the middle, and I will show you why when I lay them. You're just going to push it off to one side, like that. That is how you want to have it. I'm going to show you one more time. You're going to take your dental floss, put the two ends together, and then twist them. Grab your bead and stick it on and pull this through. So now you want to pull this to one side again, and it should look like this. And if you are adding beads to them, you will need to have 16, and I already have mine finished, so I'm just going to start laying them down. So we're going to start on these two pegs. And if you were doing it normally with no beads, all you're going to do is take 2 rubber bands each time and just lay them normally all the way around in a counterclockwise rotation. But I'm doing mine with sprinkles, so I'm going to lay one side down and then the other. And this bead is closer to this peg, so I'm going to lay another one with the bead closer to this peg. So it should look like that. Now I'm going to lay 2 more. I'm going to make it like this. And then this one has to be closer to this peg, so put it on this one and then lay it on that one. And you're just going to go around doing this until you finish. So now, once you have laid your sprinkles, you want to make sure that none of your beads overlap, and this is why we have them set up like this. So you should be able to see each and every one of your beads. And if they are overlapped, you want to make sure that you push them in opposite directions. But remember, if you were just doing it without the beads and just making it regular frosting, you were just going to lay 2 rubber bands each time in a counterclockwise rotation. Now we are going to bring our bottom loops over the top, and each peg is going to have 2 rubber bands that you are just going to bring over. Now we are going to hook this, and to hook this you may think it's going to be weird, but we're going to grab 2 rubber bands each time as we hook this, but first you want to separate your top loops from your bottom loops. So just make sure that they're going to come apart easily. So all I'm doing is taking the bottom 2 and separating them from the top 2. And on this peg, since we went around in a counterclockwise rotation, we're going to have to hook in a clockwise rotation. And I know for sure that this is supposed to be the bottom loop, but it's really the top loop right now. So we're going to take this loop and we're going to change it to the bottom. So put it on your finger, and it's actually 2 loops, not 1 loop. Then you're going to grab and put it down on this one. And then take your bottom loop and put it on the top. So all we did there was take our top loop and switch it to the bottom, and take our bottom loop and switch it to the top. And now we're going to start on this peg, and you're going to stick your hook in and grab those bottom 2 loops, and you're going to bring them to the peg next to it. Like that. And I know that was my bottom loops. Those were my bottom loops because they hooked the loops behind them. So now I'm going to stick my hook in again and grab the next bottom 2 loops and then bring it to the peg in front of it. And I know that was my bottom loop too because it hooked the loops behind it. And I'm going to show you one more time. You're just going to take the bottom 2, bring them to the peg in front of it. And they are the bottom loops if they hook the loops behind them, like this one. So you're just going to keep doing that in a clockwise rotation. Now we're going to hook backwards, and to do that, we're going to take our top loops, and only the bottom loops remain on the peg, and you're going to grab those bottom loops, and you're going to turn your hook and place them on the peg behind them. Like that. Now we're going to push these down again so that only the bottom loops remain. We're going to take the bottom loops, place them on the peg behind them, and do it again. Pull it, grab the bottom loops, place it on the peg behind it. So just go along and check to make sure that you grab the bottom loop for each and every one of these. And on your last peg, you're just going to stick your hook in, grab a rubber band, and make sure that your hook is facing towards the peg so you can just pull it up with no problem. Pull it up with no problem. And then you're going to pull one loop through the other. And you're just going to help your loops off carefully. And at this point, you just want to stretch it out at the top. So stretch it as much as you can because there are all these loops that are going crazy and you just want to pull them like that. And we're going to turn this inside out like that. And now this loop is inside and we don't want it on the inside. So you're going to turn it toward the back, to the back, and above where that loop is, you're going to stick your hook in through some rubber bands at the top. And you're just going to pull this loop up through. And again, stretch this out. Once you think yours looks good, you can either attach this loop to an earring, and to do that, you can take your earring hook or your earring and just slide this loop onto it. But if you want to do something else to attach it, you can, and you can pretty much do whatever you would like with these. Now I'm going to show you how to attach the earring without cutting your rubber band. So to do this, you want to have your earring hook and your donut, and what you're going to do is go inside some of these rubber bands, well, just one of them, and then you're going to pull this through like that. And now we're going to go over again and grab some more. And now, what you want to do is stick it through some of the donut, just one loop on the donut, like that, and some here. And then you're going to pull this through, just the frosting part, like that. So now you have your original loop and your donut loop. And now with your earring hook, we're going to grab both of these. So I'm going to leave it on my Rainbow Loom hook and grab them. Like that, and then you can just take it off your Rainbow Loom hook. And we didn't even have to cut a rubber band for that. And now you are done. This is what they look like when they're done and on. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you make some, I'd love to see them. My Instagram is CraftLifeUSA, so please tag me in a photo. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, pin it on Pinterest, and subscribe right here on YouTube. I hope you're living a craft life just like me. Thanks for watching. Bye!